What's up, coaster lovers? So I have another reaction for you guys today. This time, I'll be reacting to the RMC Roller Coaster Tournament 2020 by Destination Thrills. So to give you guys some context, Destination Thrills is a coaster enthusiast and YouTuber. He also has an Instagram account, and on there he lets his followers vote for which coaster is better in different polls, which are for these bracket-style tournaments that he does. So this one is obviously for the roller coasters built by Rocky Mountain Construction, or RMC. I personally have only ridden 3 RMCs, which are Steel Vengeance, Storm Chaser, and Goliath at Six Flags Great America. However, I still participate in all of the polls. And whenever there was a poll with 1 or 2 RMCs that I haven't ridden, I simply picked the one that I thought looked better based on the POVs and reviews from people who have ridden those coasters. And I imagine most people who participated in these polls did the same thing. He also does a shout out on his YouTube video of the tournament to the person who gets the closest prediction to how the actual bracket ends up looking like. So I posted my prediction to my Instagram story and tagged Destination Thrills. I'll put a screenshot I took of that right here. And I'll also put the link to Destination Thrills channel and Instagram page in the card up here. Alright, and without further ado, let's see how the bracket for this tournament ended up looking like. The anticipation, the hype.
Hey everyone, this is Cullah Hale from Destination Thrills, and today we are going to reveal the results of our Rocky Mountain Construction Coaster Tournament. If you don't know Rocky Mountain Construction, also known as RMC, they are known for building some innovative roller coasters. One, they transform old wooden coasters into steel hybrid beasts. And also they have introduced elements that we have not seen on any other roller coasters, including the zero-G stall. Some of these inversions and twists and airtime are just absolutely crazy, and a majority of their roller coasters will rank at the top of your list once you ride these rides. They simply are amazing, and I wanted to do a tournament that captures all of these coasters and see which one of them is the best. And let me just say, we had tons of participation for this tournament. I was super excited to see that we had over 300 voters each round. That is up 100 from our last tournament, the European Coaster Tournament, which had 200. So we are still seeing an increase in participation, which gets me really excited for not only this tournament, but for tournaments to come. So let's keep that participation going. If you don't know where to vote in the next tournament, you just have to go to our Instagram page, give us a follow, and then we will post all the information on the tournaments there. Plus, that is where you will vote. It will be on our story. Now, we will get into the bracket in just a moment, but I did want to mention at the end of this video, if you stick around, we will reveal our winner of the bracket challenge on Instagram, so stick around for that. I also wanted to get into how the tournament works. It's pretty simple. I post head-to-head matches on our Instagram page, and the winner, the one with the most votes, will move on to the next round, all the way until our championship. We also will have a 3rd place match, a 5th place match, and a 7th place match, which you'll see as we go through the bracket. Okay, so let's go right into our bracket. Now, funny story is when I first posted the bracket on Instagram, I totally forgot to put Medusa. When I first put the bracket together, I had Medusa, I had everything together, and then of course I decided to change some things up. And in the middle of changing things, I completely left out a coaster. So luckily, you guys quickly corrected me on Instagram, so I did have to make some changes. And what I decided to do was have a 16 coaster bracket, but I had 4 coasters participate in play-in matches to get into the tournament. The coasters were Joker from Discovery Kingdom versus New Texas Giant from Six Flags Over Texas. That was for the 16th seed. And then for the 11th seed, I had Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom taking on Medusa from Six Flags Mexico. So those coasters did have to compete to get into the round of 16. Now let's get into our bracket. So the winner of New Texas Giant versus Joker would go on to take Steel Vengeance from Cedar Point, our #1 seed, and the heavily favored coaster in this tournament. Then we go down to our 8th and 9th seeds. We have Untamed from Wallaby Holland versus Wicked Cyclone from Six Flags New England. Moving down, we have Wildfire from Colmartin, our 5th seed, taking on Outlaw Run from Silver Dollar City. And then we have our 4th seed, Haikuge from Nagashima Spaland, taking on Iron Rattler from Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Moving on to the right side of our bracket, we have Lightning Rod from Dollywood, our 3rd seed in the tournament, taking on Twisted Cyclone from Six Flags Over Georgia. Then we have Twisted Colossus from Six Flags Magic Mountain, taking on the winner from Storm Chaser versus Medusa. That will be our 11th seed. Then we have Twisted Timbers from King's Dominion, taking on the RMC Raptor clones. So that would be Wonder Woman Golden Lasso at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and Railblazer from California's Great America. Because these are mirrored clones, I figured it would be best to lump them into one. And finally, we have Goliath from Six Flags Great America, taking on Zadra from Energylandia, our #2 seed, and the winner of our European Coaster Tournament. If you want to see the full tournament results, you can go ahead and click the card above. I will link the video there. Alright, so now that we have looked at the bracket, let's get into the results. First off, with those play-in matches, we had New Texas Giant versus Joker, and Joker won with 61% of the vote to take on Steel Vengeance. And then the winner of our 11th.
I think I might have accidentally voted for Joker in that one, although I meant to vote for New Texas Giant, because I personally think it looks a bit better than Joker. Although I haven't ridden either of them. But yeah.
Seed matchup, we have Storm Chaser versus Medusa. Storm Chaser won with 72%.
I voted for Storm Chaser. I've ridden Storm Chaser, but I'd say it looks better than Medusa Steel Coaster. Also, I would say New Texas Giant and Joker are like bottom 2 RMCs. But yeah.
Of the vote, and will face off against Twisted Colossus. Okay, moving into the round of 16, Steel Vengeance versus Joker. This one was no surprise for me. Steel Vengeance wins with 89% of the vote.
Yep.
Joker looks to be a good coaster, but I've ridden Steel Vengeance myself, and I can say it is pretty awesome. And like I said, it is a heavily favored coaster in this tournament.
Steve is the best.
We'll see if Steel Vengeance continues to tear through these rounds. Next up, we have Wicked Cyclone versus Untamed, and what I thought would be a close matchup ended up to be a landslide victory for Untamed.
So as you guys can see, I predicted that Wicked Cyclone would win over Untamed, largely because I would think more enthusiasts have ridden Wicked Cyclone than Untamed. But I think I actually voted for Untamed because I thought it had a stronger looking layout.
69%.
It looks like most other people thought the same.
This coaster looks good, but I've also heard really good things about Wicked Cyclone. So I was a little bit surprised that this matchup wasn't closer. But again, Untamed moving on to take on Steel Vengeance. All right, let's keep moving through the bracket. We have Wildfire at Colmartin versus my beloved Outlaw Run from Silver Dollar City. I wanted Outlaw Run to do really well in this tournament, but it would have to face a really tough opponent in Wildfire. And, of course, Wildfire won with 70% of the vote.
Yeah, Wildfire almost looks like a more improved and longer version of Outlaw Run in a way.
Moving on
I voted
to
for Wildfire.
Finals. Who will Wildfire face? We had Iron Rattler versus Haikuge, and Haikuge.
This was similar to Wicked Cyclone Untamed. I predicted Iron Rattler would win because I think more people would have ridden it than Hakuge. But I voted for Hakuge because I thought it had a better looking and a stronger looking layout.
Won with 67% of the vote.
And again, most of the voters seem to have thought the same way.
It is a brand new RMC at Nagashima Spa-Land, and it looks phenomenal. It looks like it has the length, the airtime, and the really crazy RMC elements, and that is why we have Haikuge at our 4th seed. So we expect Haikuge to keep on winning, though it will have a tough opponent against Wildfire. Again, that 5th, 4th seed matchup, that is going to be one to watch next. Okay, to the other side of the bracket we go. We have Lightning Rod versus Twisted Cyclone. Again, not a surprise here. Lightning Rod wins with 84% of the vote.
Yep, I voted
Lightning
for
Rod
Elrod.
is going to be one to watch. It could end up upsetting our number 2 seed, Zadra. We do have a lot of American voters, so I'm wondering if that's going to have an impact on how these results come in, because more than likely our U.S. voters have likely ridden these coasters from the States versus these coasters abroad. So I'm interested to see on how that has an impact on this tournament. Then we had Storm Chaser, our 11th seed, taking on Twisted Colossus. This one was a bit closer of a battle. Twisted Colossus winning with 58% of...
Yeah, I've ridden Storm Chaser, but not Twisted Colossus. But I voted Twisted Colossus largely because, it's a bit long of a ride, and it has I guess, a bit more variety in elements. And I imagine it's considerably better, even if it's dueling.
The vote and move.
I was supposed to be riding it this summer, in June, but there's a good chance that trip may end up having to get pushed back to next year, which might actually end up working in my favor, though, because Six Flags Magic Mountains we were to be getting a near identical clone of Jersey Devil in 2021. So yeah.
Moving on to Battle Lightning Rod. All right, continuing down the bracket, we have Twisted Timbers versus the Raptor clones, and Twisted Timbers wins with 72%.
This one I was torn on, but I voted for the Raptor clones just because, even though Twisted Timbers is a longer ride, I guess I just thought the Raptors would be more insane because of just how fast-paced they are, especially when compared to Twisted Timbers, I guess, and I guess a lot of these other ones, but I imagine Twisted Timbers has more airtime, and of course it's a longer ride, so that's probably how most people felt.
Of the vote, a big win for Twisted Timbers. I wasn't sure how the Raptor clones were going to perform. They look like absolute beasts with their wicked pacing. However, the duration does look kind of short, so I wonder if that had an impact on how voters felt about Raptor clones. Okay, we are on to the last matchup of the round of 16. It is Goliath at Six Flags Great America. I've ridden this coaster so many times. It is such a solid ride.
Yeah, I rode it last June.
Honestly, many consider it to be the lower tier of the RMCs, which is crazy.
I think I'd have to agree with that. It's definitely the weakest out of the 3 I've ridden.
Six Flags
Still a great ride, though.
Which has over a dozen.
And I have a shirt for it, so.
That just kind of shows you how good these RMC coasters really are. And they're taking on one of the best, Zadra at Energylandia. And of course, Zadra did win 86% of the vote, moving on.
Zadra looks insane.
All right, let's get into the round of 8.
It looks to give Steel Vengeance a run for its money. And also probably Iron Gwazi too, maybe even Hakuge.
We have Steel Vengeance versus Untamed. Now, I think we all expect Steel Vengeance to win, but I was curious to see if Untamed could pull off maybe 25, 30% of the vote. I thought maybe it'd be in the upper 20s when it came to vote percentage, but Steel Vengeance wins with 84% of the vote. Untamed only picking up 16%.
I voted for Steve.
Again, Steel Vengeance is going to do well in this tournament. I'm going to say it many times. I'm just interested to see which coasters, how they fare up against this ride. Okay, our next round of 8 battle, we had Wildfire versus Haikuge, the 4th and 5th seed. Honestly, I kind of flip-flopped when determining the seeds for these coasters. I thought about putting Haikuge at a 5.
Yeah, this was another one I had a tough time choosing between, but I think I voted for Haikuge. Although, I also think whenever I did vote for these, I made them tied, both at 50%. So, it'll be interesting to see which one ends up winning. I predicted. Oh, never mind. I predicted that Iron Rattler would win against Wildfire, and then Iron Rattler would win against Hakuge. So this part of the bracket for my prediction is very different.
to me were really close, though I did expect Haikuge to be the better coaster, but you guys voted, and Wildfire won with 52% of the vote, and I can tell you for a while it was tied, and then we had Wildfire with a 51% to 49% lead. It was so close the entire way. I had many people sending me DMs saying, wow, this battle is so close, and
they both look like top tier RMCs.
But I will say Wildfire at the end started picking
I'd love to get on both.
And
I'd love to get on all these, all the ones I haven't ridden.
Won with 52% of the vote. So Wildfire will be in our quarterfinals, and then we'll take on Steel Vengeance, another matchup that I'm very excited to see. Okay, moving up to the top right, we have Lightning Rod versus Twisted Colossus. And no surprise again, Lightning Rod wins with 79% of the vote. Now, I've been on Lightning Rod, and I can tell you it is a phenomenal roller coaster. The pacing is nuts, and you have the launched lift hill, so I can see why this coaster is doing well, and I expect it to go really far in this tournament. Let's see who Lightning Rod's opponent is going to be. We have Zadra versus Twisted Timbers, and Zadra wins with 75% of the vote. A big win for Zadra, and it will move on to take Lightning Rod in our semifinals. So let's see how our semifinals are set up. We have Steel Vengeance versus Wildfire, and then we have Lightning Rod versus Zadra, 4 amazing RMC coasters, all battling it out for the championship. Then we have our consolation bracket. So what we like to do is, for the coasters that lose in the quarterfinals, we like to have a consolation bracket so we can have a 7th place and 5th place matchup. So the consolation bracket matchups will be Untamed versus Haikuge, and then we have the Battle of the Twisted Colossus versus Twisted Timbers. All right, let's stick with the consolation bracket and go into our results. And the first one, Untamed versus Haikuge. Haikuge wins with 57% of the vote. And I know this battle, when we first posted it,
I actually don't remember if I voted in these two or not, to be completely honest with you.
Was close as well, but Haikuge wins and will be in the 5th place match. And then we have Twisted Colossus versus Twisted Timbers. This one was tied for a while. I had many people commenting about this matchup as well.
Yeah, I probably did vote for these two. I probably just don't completely remember what I voted for, especially this one. This one I was super torn on. I'm pretty sure I voted for Haikuge though in this one.
At one point, Twisted Timbers had a lead, and then Twisted Colossus had the lead, and it went back and forth. But Twisted Colossus wins at the end of the day with 51% of the vote. So many close battles in this tournament. It just goes to see how closely matched up some of these RMCs are. So again, Twisted Colossus moves on to the 5th place matchup. All right, let's get into our semifinals. Who is going to be in the championship? Steel Vengeance versus Wildfire, and Steel Vengeance wins with 84% of the vote, absolutely destroying Wildfire. I expected Wildfire to have a better percentage, maybe like a 20 to 25% against Steel Vengeance, but it seems like the
Steve is just that good.
Steel Vengeance fans really were participating in this one. Moving on to the next round, we have Lightning Rod versus Zadra. I expect this to be super close. Let's see what the voters chose, and Lightning Rod wins with 52%.
Yeah, I was really surprised whenever I saw that Lightning Rod edged out Zadra, because I'm pretty sure I voted for Zadra. But yeah, I was pretty surprised whenever I saw on Instagram that Lightning Rod beat out Zadra. So yeah.
Of the vote, another close battle in this tournament, and Lightning Rod moving on to the championship. I'm a little surprised here, but I think with a majority of American voters probably participating in this tournament, that might have given Lightning Rod the edge, because people might have had the chance to ride Lightning Rod. So interesting to note, and maybe something to watch for future tournaments. Okay, so now we've made it to our final rounds. Now, I have not seen the results of these final rounds yet, so I'm going to be reading them off in real time with you guys. We have our 7th place match, which is Untamed versus Twisted Timbers. And like I said, I expected Twisted Timbers to do well. I honestly had it seated 6th, so I'm surprised it's actually in our 7th place matchup. But it is also going up against a good coaster, which is Untamed. A coaster that kind of surprised me. I had it seated 8th, so I'm not surprised that it's in the 7th place matchup. But I wasn't sure how well it was going to do against some of these American coasters. And with it absolutely wiping out Wicked Cyclone, I think it has a good chance against Twisted Timbers. So our winner of 7th place is, wow, Untamed with just 55% of the vote. So Untamed takes out Twisted Timbers and wins 7th place. Okay, our 5th place matchup is Haikuge versus Twisted Colossus.
I honestly don't remember voting in that last one either. Up against the 7th place match, Untamed versus Twisted Timbers. So yeah, I guess I didn't vote for all of these. At least I don't remember voting for every single one of them. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't.
It just looks so good. It looks like it just has a really good duration, which is what I like in coasters. Twisted Colossus looks good as well. It just looks like, yes, the duration is long, but the duration actually doing these elements at high speeds is a little bit shorter than what I would like. Okay, so our winner of 5th place is, with 61% of the vote, it is Haikuge. Haikuge is our 5th place matchup.
I do think Haikuge looks to be
okay, on the 3rd place, we have
ride.
a rematch of our European Coaster Tournament final. We have Wildfire versus Zadra. Our winner of 3rd place, getting the bronze, is Zadra, 62% of the vote. So Zadra beats Wildfire again and is 3rd place in our RMC tournament. All right, it is time for the championship, and we have another rematch. If you remember, I did a coaster duel back in December. It had about 100 participants. We did a Steel Vengeance versus Lightning Rod one-on-one battle, and I remember it being a little bit tight. Though Steel Vengeance did win in the end. So now that we have more voters, will Steel Vengeance still have the edge? That is one thing I'm interested to see in this championship matchup. Also, if you do want to see that previous battle between Steel Vengeance and Lightning Rod, I will go ahead and
I'm getting excited.
The card above.
I'm getting hyped.
Okay, so our winner of the RMC Coaster Tournament is, no surprise,
Steve! Yeah! Steve is the best. Like I keep saying.
Clear winner and the clear front
Nothing will top it. Nothing will ever top it. Probably.
So congratulations
most likely.
to Steel Vengeance and
More than
Cedar
likely.
Point for winning the RMC tournament. This is actually the 2nd tournament that Steel Vengeance has won. We did a Cedar Point tournament back in December that Steel Vengeance did win. And so now Steel Vengeance has another tournament win under its belt. Again, congratulations to Steel Vengeance and Cedar Point. Now, I am thinking about doing this coaster tournament next year after coasters like Iron Gwazi and Jersey Devil Coaster open. I think that will really shake up the tournament, really depending on how good Jersey Devil Coaster turns out to be. And if the hype turns out to be real for Iron Gwazi, we may have someone to compete with Steel Vengeance next year. Also, when more people get a chance to ride Zadra, it may start.
Yeah, I'm absolutely psyched for Iron Gwazi.
So be on the lookout.
I can't wait to ride
next
that.
year,
I know I'll be riding it sometime this year.
The RMC tournament. And speaking of tournaments, we will have tons more on our Instagram page. So if you haven't, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. We post all the tournament information there. Our next coaster duel is actually not going to be a tournament. Yes, we'll have more in the future, but I wanted to change it up again and go back to a 1-versus-1 matchup. And this time it is going to be between 2 coasters that I've not been on before. They are in the Mid-Atlantic region, and they're both within the Cedar Fair chain. I'm sure you can guess what they are, but I'll release the coasters that will be in that 1-versus-1 matchup next weekend. I'm very excited for that. I'm really anticipating that this one will be a close battle. All right, now let's reveal our winner or winners of the Coaster Bracket Challenge. And we actually have 2 perfect brackets, so these 2 did a really good job of predicting who was going to win this tournament. They didn't miss a single matchup. That is absolutely incredible in my opinion. I missed a ton on my bracket. And so these 2 winners are WNY Coasters and Vekoma SLC 05. These 2, congratulations. You guys had perfect.
I don't actually think I did too bad on my predictions. I actually only think I got like a few off. So yeah.
Bracket. So excellent job on your bracket challenge. And there were a lot of really good brackets that literally just missed one. So I think everyone had a good idea of which coasters were going to move on and which coasters were favored in each matchup. So we will do more coaster tournaments in the future. If you have an idea for which tournament we should do next, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Destination Thrills, the destination for all the latest theme park news, tournaments, and content. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you to all who voted in this tournament. Again, Steel Vengeance is our winner of the Rocky Mountain Construction Coaster Tournament. I'm Cullah Hale. Have a good one.
Alrighty. That about does it for this reaction. Yeah, that was a good time. I enjoyed it. Alright, so if you liked this video and reaction, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more coaster related content. And also follow me on Instagram at CoasterLover2001 if you're interested in checking that out. And I'm gonna try to return countdowns either later this week or next week. I've been just getting a little bit caught up with schoolwork, so that's why I haven't really had a ton of time to, start editing like more countdowns. Although I'm gonna try my best to get at least one uploaded either later this week or next week. So yeah. Alright, that's about it. So catch you guys later.